How many of you watched Georgia, Florida yesterday? This game was 42-20. It was a good day for Georgia. It was a bad day for a lot of us, though. Not because we were rooting against Georgia. Something happened in this game, though. If you were watching it, you know what I'm talking about. In fact, if you weren't watching it and you just saw the highlights, you still know what I'm talking about. And I hate when this sort of thing happens. Unfortunately, Brock Bowers set off the casual alarm in this game yesterday. Now, what is the casual alarm? Some of you may be new around here. The casual alarm basically is set off when something like Brock Bowers' circus catch yesterday happens. Here's how it goes. A guy that you and I have known about for a long time does something extraordinary that you know is going to make all the highlight reels. It's going to circulate on social media to where the casuals even have no choice but to see it. And then, like clockwork, the casuals try and latch onto it as if it's theirs. And they start talking about this dude Georgia has. Have you seen this Brock Bowers kid? He's incredible. I know, man. And he was, you know what else? He was incredible last year, too. Yeah, but Brock Bowers, what an amazing tight end. Really? Tell me your 3 favorite games of Brock Bowers. Bro, don't be like that. Watch this play. Casual alarm. Woo, woo, woo. Casual alarm got set off yesterday. So that's great for Brock Bowers. It's great for Georgia. It sucks for everyone else that has to sit around and listen. It's kind of like NFL draft season, you know? When you and I have watched these players for 3 or 4 or in some cases 5 years, and then somebody who never laid eyes on them until about 3 months before the draft started, maybe the NFL Combines, the first time they knew anything more than their first and last name, they start telling you what you need to know about the guys that you've watched for the last 4 or 5 years. Brock Bowers set off the casual alarm yesterday, and so he should be equal parts proud and ashamed because of what he brought on us. I flew back from Kansas City about 5:15 this morning, and I watched the game on the flight. But I was in Nashville by 7:30, and when I got to my apartment, I started to peruse some Georgia websites. I wanted to see what people were saying about the game. And my suspicions were true. They weren't really saying anything about the game. They were talking about Tennessee. You couldn't deny that this week. There was that feel all week that, yeah, this is a rivalry game. Yeah, it's Georgia's biggest rivalry. It's not their biggest game in the next month. It's not their biggest game in the next half month. Everyone knew that Tennessee game was on deck. They went and took care of business. It got a little close. I would argue it got a little close because they built such a big lead early on. Georgia, here's all you need to know. Georgia ran it 40 times for 239 yards. That is 6 yards per carry. Georgia stopped the run. Florida averaged, yes, less than 3 yards per carry. They were minus 3 turnovers and still won by 22. So that's a really good day for Georgia. They had a 25-point lead at halftime, and this kind of surprised me. That's the largest lead at halftime in the series since 1996, which is the year Atlanta hosted the Olympics. And your boy hung out in Catawba, Georgia, and watched the flame go by. I don't think I ever told you that, Jesse, mainly because you don't care about that. But 1996, a good year. Braves should have won the World Series that year. It is what it is. But 239 rushing yards, second most since 1996. So how about the throwback to pre-millennium, 1996? Georgia tops 500 yards for only the second time in series history. So it has not been a rivalry. It's not been a series necessarily based on fireworks. But you know what happened yesterday? Florida showed some fight in the second half. Georgia took care of business as a high-level team should do. And they got out relatively unscathed. I know Nolan Smith got injured. Amarius Mims, I was reading Rusty's update over on Dogs 24/7. It sounds like they escaped disaster there. We'll get an update on him this week. But now it is set. This Saturday in Athens, Georgia, Tennessee, in case you haven't checked the AP poll today, tied at number 2. So for our arguments, we're just going to call them number 2. Number 2, Tennessee, number 1, Georgia in Athens. The current odds to win the SEC championship, Georgia plus 110, Bama plus 150, Tennessee plus 450. If you feel like betting Tennessee money line, you might as well just correlate it with a nice, healthy couple of shekels on them to also win the SEC. What a game that's going to be. Thanks for watching, guys. Don't leave yet. Don't leave yet. Make sure you like the video and please subscribe to the channel. Not just for me. That's how we keep this entire thing free.